Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this episode. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service, and it's 100% online. With BetterHelp, you can tap into a network of over 25,000 licensed and experienced therapists who can help you with a wide range of issues. To get started, you just answer a few questions about your needs and preferences in therapy. That way, BetterHelp can match you with the right therapist from their network. Then you can talk to your therapist however you feel comfortable, whether it's via text, chat, phone, or video call. You can message your therapist at any time and schedule live sessions when it's convenient for you. If your therapist isn't the right fit for any reason, you can switch to a new therapist at no additional charge. With BetterHelp, you get the same professionalism and quality you expect from in-office therapy, but with a therapist who is custom-picked for you, more scheduling flexibility, and at a more affordable price. Get 10% off your first month at BetterHelp.com/thebarn. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/thebarn.
Hello, my name is Jason Lowry.
Hey, I'm Mark Toti.
And this is the Parkland Podcast.
It's the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. It's the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. They got plenty to say. They got plenty of heart. On the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. It's the Parkland Podcast. Yeah, the Parkland Podcast. It's the Parkland Podcast. Yeah, the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. Jason and Mark.
Oh, I love that tune.
I know, right? Stuck in your head. Everybody's singing about it and enjoying it, and it's a great way to set up another great episode for you. Former NFL defensive captain, North County graduate, and bussin' with the boys podcaster Will Compton will join us on the show. We're not completely for sure, so you're just going to have to keep watching to see, but we think Roy Hinson will be joining us on this episode.
If he's not here this week, he's a busy guy.
He is a busy guy.
He will be a guest on the podcast. We just have to tell him to watch his language every now and then. But he does want to be on the podcast, and we'd love to have him.
Also, Park Hills Mayor Stacy Easter will be joining us, and we're also going to get healthy.
Well, as healthy as Miss Breanna can get us from the St. Francis County Health Department. She is pretty awesome, and she's going to be joining us today as well.
And we got week 3 of the high school football season. We'll talk to Kory Schweiss after a double overtime victory over Fredericktown, and Brian Jones after his win over the Desoto Dragons.
Want to send a shout out to the folks that helped to organize the John Thomas Memorial Scholarship fundraiser over this past weekend, raising over $37,000.
Hey, that's great.
It was a great total. And to the folks that supported the Farmington Senior Center, Ursula, I talked to her this past week. They raised over $5,000.
Man.
It was a great turnout. I was fortunate enough to be able to go to both of them. And let me tell you, the Howard boys can barbecue some chicken, and the folks at the Senior Center know how to make some kettle beef.
Oh, my. Is there any of that? Like, did she freeze any of that?
If she did,
I'd like some.
it was delicious. It was fantastic. So
that's great. What else did you do this week? Anything fun, exciting?
Went to a Chamber of Commerce event Friday night at the home of Candy Hinty for the Ambassadors organization. She made some very good food. She has 2 dogs.
Yeah.
And they both loved me. Maybe a little too much, but they were wonderful dogs. So Teddy and Duke, it was nice to meet you guys.
Very good, very good. Been busy with football and everything. Thursday night we had that awesome game in Fredericktown. And then last night I'm at North County and I'm looking across the way and I see the Unitech Career Center program, and Mr. Speaker's doing an awesome job with those kids. I look over and I see KFMO, and there's like 4 guys that were my former students now that are working, and it's just a blessing. And then the wife goes, "You're competing against yourself, you know. You built these brands, and now you started a new brand, and it's tough." But we were talking last night. She did not realize that you hired me for my first radio job.
Yes, it was back around the year 2000.
2000, October of 2000.
We hired Jason mainly because I said, tell me something about you that sticks out. And he says, well, I'm the only guy ever to eat a hot dog while on the bench of a basketball game at North County High School. I said, okay, that's good enough for me. And I think you said something along the lines. I said, I figured there was a pretty good chance I wouldn't get in the game anyway. So I was hungry. I said, give me a hot dog.
Why not? Why not? And I remember I was so nervous, and I'm sorry about this, but I really wanted the sports director job at KFMO that was also open at that time. And I had, dropped off stuff with Greg Camp and had been talking to him because I was finishing up broadcasting school at the Broadcast Center, where both you and I went to. And they ended up hiring Greg Allen for that spot. And, of course, that worked out pretty well for them. And so I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'll go work at the country station. But it worked out great. Got in the overnight position and then was able to get off the overnights quick and work my way up from there. So, yeah, Kayla had no idea that you hired me for my first job.
Then you went to KFMO, B104. You worked with Greg Allen. Both of you all went your separate ways, and now Greg's back, a part of the podcast that you organized.
It's
full circle.
Yeah, isn't life strange? And that'll be the song pick.
Yeah, that's a good one
coming
too.
Up in a little bit. Hey, want to thank our sponsors for this show: Parkland Pharmacy, Discover Farmington, First State Community Bank, Save a Lot of the Parkland, Subway, Eat Fresh, John Robinson at Pettis Chrysler Automotive, Heimberger Construction, and Southeast Missouri Mental Health Center. Mark Toti, do you have a good Toti-ly awesome radio story for us?
Well, I'm starting to run low, but we'll go all the way back to 1988. I had just been named program director at J98. I mean, I was a week into my job, and I had to go to, I think, Lutheran South or Lutheran North High School to broadcast a baseball game. Took Steve Bessemer with me.
Yeah, Steve.
Had to hook up this big, long pole, at least 10 feet, maybe 15 feet.
Right.
And I remember our engineer, Kevin Brooks, saying, now, there's going to be a little tension there. It may be hard to get that up because you had to put the antenna on the end of the pole, tighten it down, and put it up in the air so you could get the signal back. So anyway, we get there. We're on the first base side, and Steve and I we lay the pole out, put the antenna on, and we're getting ready to toss it up. And boy, it was like sticking like crazy. And I said, Steve, Kevin was right. There really is a lot of bend in this pole. It's tough to get up. And these two girls were watching us, high school girls, and one goes, Mister, your pole is awfully bent. And I said, I beg your pardon. That's kind of a personal thing to say. And then I turned around and looked, and the big metal pole was shaped like a McDonald's arch.
Oh, no.
It had got stuck under the dugout fence.
Oh, no.
And it was bent like this. I'm 75 miles from the radio station. No cell phones at this time.
Right.
And I'm thinking, what the heck are we supposed to do now? So I run over, I find a maintenance man. He says, here, take this hacksaw and saw the pole in half and then put the pole up with the antenna and see if that works. So here comes all these Farmington fans to watch the baseball game. And here's Mark Toti, the new program director at J98, sitting on his butt in the middle of a baseball field, hacksawing a pole away. Finally, hacksawed my way through it, set it up, got the broadcast done. Farmington won. They went on to the Final Four that year.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm thinking all the way back, that's it. Shortest reign ever as a program director. But I got back, talked to Kevin Brooks, our engineer, and he goes, well, it was a pretty stupid thing you did, but you did the right thing in the long run.
Because you got it on the air.
Because you got it on the air.
Wow. So you martied from Lutheran South?
Yeah.
Wow. That's impressive.
Well, when you've got Kevin Brooks as your engineer at your radio station, I called him the MacIver of engineering. Anything is possible.
We need to have Kevin come on one time. I'm almost embarrassed, though. I'm afraid he'll, like, tell me all the stuff I'm doing wrong.
Yeah.
Well, that is truly a Toti-ly awesome radio story. Let's talk about Save-A-Lots of the Parkland there in Bonne Terre, Desoto, Potosi, Park Hills, and Farmington. And they have an excellent selection of items. And I love how they're getting more local items in. And one of the best things around locally is this from Bailey Joe's. So yummy.
Yes, Bailey Joe's saw Jeremy, and he gave us a couple of these to brag about. These are available in Save-A-Lot stores. This is their dressing, their Italian dressing. We also have some barbecue sauce. I believe there's a barbecue and a cherry glaze there as well. And they start at phenomenal and work their way up. But that's just an example of the great quality products you will find at Save-A-Lot. And I got to tell you, at our men's club barbecue, we had a few leftover chickens from the John Thomas Scholarship Fundraiser, and we broke them out. All that chicken came from Save-A-Lot, and I got to tell you, it's fabulous.
Yeah, they do such a great job. They have butchers in every store. They're always, looking at ways to bring new and exciting items to the store. So things are changing. It's not, the same every time, which is real exciting. They do a great job. Check them out today. They're Save-A-Lots of the Parkland, Bonne Terre, DeSoto, Park Hills, Potosi, and Farmington. Let's talk about your mental health. Southeast Missouri Mental Health Center has been providing that service to this area for literally over 100 years, since 1903. They are always looking for new employees, and I think that if you and I were to ask all our friends where you work, we would find so many that work for this company, and they've stayed there for such a long time. That tells me a lot.
Yeah, when you think of the bigger employers in St. Francis County, you might think of the industrial park where all they are at. But the Southeast Missouri Mental Health Center has over 1,000 employees. And like you said, they've been doing it since 1903, one of the largest employers in St. Francis County. Not only are they a great company to work with, they have wonderful benefits too, by the way, if you are doing a little job searching. They have wonderful benefits, a lot of paid time off, and they would love to talk to you.
And all you have to do to apply is go to dmh.mo.gov. That's dmh.mo.gov. Or you can call 573-218-6800. Find out more about the many, many fine opportunities in not just the mental health field, everything else at Southeast Missouri Mental Health Center in Farmington. Let's check news now on the Parkland Podcast. News is brought to you by First State Community Bank. Locally owned, locally operated, Farmington has 3 locations to serve you. They're in downtown, Washington and Karsh, and the Maple Valley Center, Farmington. Ask about digital banking and all the great advantages you can find at First State Community Bank. Member FDIC, success starts here.
It's the memories made during a weekend with the girls, a family adventure, or a Sunday stroll in historic downtown. At First State Community Bank, we have a strong passion for small business owners and the students and families who live, work, and play here. Our passion for them runs deep because this is our community too. First State Community Bank. Success starts here.
School threats continue to be reported at area schools. Statements have been released by the North County and Farmington school districts. Some threats were handled internally. Others were threats reposted from school districts in other states.
There's going to be a fundraiser for the St. Francis County Sheriff Department's K-9 unit happening Saturday, September 21st at Griffin Automotive in Bonne Terre, starting at 9 a.m.
'Tis the season for homecomings and fall festivals. There are homecomings coming up this weekend for the Farmington, Valley Catholic, and Potosi school districts.
October 4th will be the homecoming games for both the Fredericktown Black Cats and Central Rebels.
On October 11th, it's North County and St. Genevieve. And going back to that first weekend in October, there's the big Bluegrass Festival in Leadwood we also wanted to tell you about.
Absolutely. It's budget time for the cities of Farmington and Park Hills as the two communities' new fiscal years will begin in October. Let's take a closer look now at the city of Park Hills with Mayor Stacy Easter. Hey, back on the Parkland podcast, let's get some news from the city of Park Hills. We have Stacy Easter with us, the mayor of Park Hills. Stacy, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate your time today.
Sure, no problem. Thank you for having me.
You've been the mayor now in Park Hills for roughly 2 years. You were on the city council before that. Mm-hmm. You have seen the city through a time, I guess the best way to put it would be of very positive growth over the last several years.
Yes, we are definitely excited about it. We have some more things coming. That's kind of what we're all about, growth, just bettering the city, making it a better place for our citizens and residents even around our community.
Doing projects in a city takes a lot of funding. I know people like to armchair city administrate and say, well, why don't they spend money on that? Why don't they spend money on that? One of the ways to improve things is through grants. Now, grants have stipulations. They have to be spent on certain things in certain areas, but Park Hills has done a great job of getting into the grant market and being very active. Kind of tell us about some of the grants that are in the works that are coming and some of the changes that will be coming very soon to Park Hills.
Okay. Yeah, we do have some exciting things. I just want to thank our administration, Zach Franklin, our new city administrator. He's been in his role a little over a year now. And this young man has done a phenomenal job, as well as our whole administration. They've reached out and they are almost approaching $1 million in grants just within the last year. So phenomenal. Just it's exciting for the city. Like you said, I know we can't do everything, but we have to start somewhere, and we are at that starting point. So I have several grants to talk about, what we're going to be expecting in the next year to two, and maybe like a 10, 15-year plan on fixing some infrastructure issues.
Zach's a local guy too, isn't he?
Absolutely. He's from, he actually was a graduate of North County, moved to Columbia to go to Mizzou, worked there for, I think, about 10 years for the city of Columbia. So he has that municipal government experience. Not quite frankly a city administrator experience, but we saw the vision in him, and we knew that he would be a great leader for our city, and took the chance on such a young individual. And he has just proven himself time and time again. We're very excited to have him.
What are some of the projects that are, I guess, closest to being ready to rock and roll from these grants?
Sure. So we have a couple that's actually coming up. We have, at this next coming work session, which will be in about a week and a half, we're going to be talking about the TEAP grant, which is the Traffic Engineering Assistance Program grant. It is funded by MoDOT. So we got the grant for the engineering report that will circle around the 5-way there at Municipal Drive and Main Street. So there by Rake Holes, Copper Fox, that whole congested area that sometimes can be a little wonky to navigate. So we had that engineering report done there. Of course, the grant funded the engineering report for us. So they gave us some options to go with on what would best be to put in place there. And we just need to decide what, if anything, that we wanted to do with that intersection. So that's one thing that we're going to be talking about soon. The next thing that we have would be, we have a TAP grant, which is the Transportation Alternatives Program. Okay. So we did receive that grant in the amount of $745,000. So that is for a sidewalk that's going to be put on St. Joe Drive. So it's going to start at 7th Street and go all the way down to Simmons. This is just going to be first part of the project. We're going to hopefully get it all the way into Deloge. There is just a tremendous amount of traffic that goes on St. Joe Drive. I don't know, a lot of people go to Save a Lot there, Dollar General, stores like that. But the traffic there, and it's quite dangerous as well. I don't know how often you all drive that road, but it's pretty dangerous. So putting a sidewalk in there, I think, would be a benefit to the community. So we're going to start that, I think, in spring, summer of next year, which is pretty exciting. Yeah. We just recently applied for a CDBG grant which that grant took a lot of work. I know I signed a lot of papers. Zach and again his administration, we worked with smmhc to put that grant into place. Heartland Engineering did a lot of work for us on that grant as well. So this is actually a HUD-funded grant, so it will only focus around certain income bases in that area in our city. So we were very limited on what we could do in certain areas. So you, as you mentioned earlier, going back to people wanting certain things, well, this grant will only fund a certain small portion of our city. So we looked at that and thought what would be best, and we're going to do a paving plan there, and it's going to affect a lot of roads there. So we're hopeful we're going to get it. I think we'll know maybe by November, December if we get this grant, and it's going to be about $624,000 if we do get this one. So
Very cool.
Yeah. Do you want me to keep going on the
Yeah.
grant?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You're on a
Hey, this is
roll.
great stuff. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I feel like I'm just talking. You guys aren't doing much.
Hey, that's what good guests do.
Okay. So back several months ago, maybe even a year ago, we applied for a wastewater grant. And then we continued on with that, and we applied for a water grant. So we know we have a lot of engineering infrastructure issues within our city focused around wastewater, water, and then stormwater. So, people come to us all the time and they say they have these issues. We know we have these issues, the constant water main breaks, things like that, but we're always just patching them. We never find, the big problem or find a solution, in the big picture. So that was one thing that me and my team and the council fully support, was trying to figure out an engineering report and how we can even fund it to get those issues fixed. So we have those reports now. So we just have to get to a point to where we can put the plan in place. And it's not going to be, a year and we're going to get it fixed because it's a big task. It's going to be a big number. So we have to get that plan in place to fix the issues. It's probably going to be a 5-year plan, and on top of that, a 10-year plan, and on top of that, a 15-year plan. But we'll eventually have a plan in place and hopefully continue on with that and fix some of the issues that we have. I don't know that anyone has ever looked into this far. For the city, we have infrastructure that's been there for, I don't even know how long, but it's deteriorating. Yes, it's deteriorating, and we have to get things up to where it's good for our residents. So we're working on that, and then hopefully in this coming budget year, we're going to be able to do a stormwater engineering report because we have a lot of issues when it comes to stormwater. Streets are flooding and yards are flooding and stuff like that. So
when it comes to things like stormwater and sewer water, it's not what you call really sexy stuff to talk about until you don't have it. Then it becomes a real issue.
Absolutely. Yeah. I like that term. Yeah.
So you're right in the middle. You mentioned your work session coming up here later this month, finalizing the budget, right?
Absolutely. Our budget, I think, is pretty much complete. Obviously, right now, Zach, again, and our whole administration has worked so hard on the budget, trying to get things, lined out. We had some issues where things weren't put just as previous administration had done in the appropriate places. So we're getting those things lined out and just making sure that we're doing everything as we should and spending money as we should. Things like that, and making sure each department gets the necessities that they need to operate. That's difficult sometimes because we only have so much money. I think we're about a $12 million budget right now. So I think we're good on it, and Zach's very hopeful. He keeps telling me it's looking good. It's looking good. I mean, I've seen it, but not the actual final one. So we're excited to pass that here in a couple weeks.
Some residents in Park Hills have recently put together a neighborhood watch program. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so this is super exciting. Kayla Botkin, she owns a Botkin Lawn Service.
Yeah, hi, Kayla.
She had reached out and wanted to do this, and I thought it was an absolutely wonderful idea. Just to get the community involved in something, but to get the community involved in making sure our city's safe is pretty phenomenal, I think. She has the backing of myself, the council, and our police chief. We also have a liaison from our police department. Officer Pendergraph is working with them as well. So she's we're getting some flyers made. I'm helping her with that. We're just going to get some flyers made. We are putting, I say we, it's her. She's putting in a entry into the Cruising for a Cause, which we'll talk about here in a second.
Yeah.
So she'll have a booth there. I keep saying we. She'll have a booth there, and with more information, flyers. If anybody wants to join, she has a Facebook page.
Great.
That's set up, and we're just excited about that. That's coming to our community.
You have a new utilities director?
Yes, we do. His name's Jeremy Henderson. He comes from St. John. I think he previously worked at Farmington School District. So he's been in this role, I think, about 3 weeks now, doing a great job. He's excited to learn and lead that department to where it needs to be. He's got a lot of things to tackle with these wastewater and water reports. So he's excited to jump on board.
Let's talk about Cruising for a Cause now 2.0. Everybody loves reminiscing about cruising in downtown Park Hills. It was the social media back in our day. You'd look at everybody, you go park behind the movies and chat and do whatever. This was brought back a few years ago, and it's really turned into a big event, and now zombies are involved. This is going to be huge in beautiful downtown Park Hills the first weekend of October.
Yeah, so Holly Buxton, our Senior Center Director, has put this on with her team. She has several ladies that help her. Our City Clerk, Brandy Marler, our librarian, Lisa Sisk, assist her in this event. All the funds benefit our Senior Center. Again, a federally funded program that could use all the money that they could get. So they do this out of goodness of their own hearts just to help the seniors. So it's a great cause. Like I said, there'll be vendors, food trucks, zombies. There's going to be another burnout down on the old Country Mart parking lot again this year. That was very popular last year. I think they're going to have some blacklight bingo at the Ashler. There's going to be a haunted hall is what they call it there. So they have a lot of cool events there. We're pretty excited.
And Stacy, Easter, I think the future looks pretty bright for Park Hills. You can't tell us everything about it, but you've got some things in the works, don't you?
We do. I'll just hand this. I know I say Zach Franklin's name a lot, but this man is phenomenal, and we're just so excited to have him. The way he leads our team and helping him is great, and he has worked so hard on getting economic development going in Park Hills, and he has some things to announce. It'll be probably next year that we're going to announce it, but we have some exciting things coming, and we just can't wait to get that news out. Can't say it right now, so don't try.
Is it killing you not to be able to talk about it?
I mean, yeah, but I understand. So he's told me, hush, hush. So I can't say.
Yeah, we don't want to screw anything up for Park Hills. We have a lot of people mad at us if we do that.
Right.
Anything else going on in the city you want to chat about before we let you go?
You know, one thing that I hear a lot of people complain about is the stoplight there on Main Street by Casey's. You know, the wonderful rivets. I know everybody's going to miss them, but they're going to be replaced.
Oh, thank goodness.
Again, thanks to Zach. He talked with the Special Road District number 2, and they're going to actually drill that whole area down to the base, put rock in, and then concrete it so it won't be asphalt anymore. So this won't happen anymore. We'll fix it permanently, hopefully. And they've agreed to do that, fully fund it with absolutely no cost to the city. So again, phenomenal job for that.
We might as well. Breaking news right now. You are going to seek another term in office next year.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, I get a lot of people out in the community that see the positive things we're doing. I enjoy it thoroughly. I did just close my in-home daycare, so I'll be seeking some other forms of employment soon, but hopefully it can work with being mayor as well.
Great. Thank you so much for coming in this morning. Appreciate
Thanks for
your
having
time.
me.
Thank you.
And that is Stacy Easter. She is the mayor of Park Hills, and she is our guest right now on the Parkland Podcast. Heimberger Construction, heimbergerconstruction.com. Since 1978, they've been putting together fantastic buildings around the parkland. You can see them, and they have a secret weapon when it comes to their buildings, and a fine organization that helps there.
Well, one of their secret weapons is Jennifer herself.
Right, yes.
She is awesome and amazing, but they also specialize in Butler buildings. They are the best metal building systems on the market, the only buildings that have a pre-punched roof system and standard 360-degree roof seam for their standing seam roof. And I am sure if you travel around the area, you're going to see a Heimberger-built building.
Mocap in Park Hills and Farmington, Griffin Automotive in Bonne Terre, Legacy Products in Bonne Terre, Paramount Glass, the expansion in Park Hills, Crown Valley Winery, just to name a few. Their website's beautiful, HeimbergerConstruction.com. Give Jenny a call today, 431-4387.
Good people to work with.
Subways of the Parkland, eat fresh. Subway in Farmington in the Maple Valley Plaza, Park Hills downtown location, and the Subway inside the Deloge Super Walmart. You go to Subway weekly.
Yes.
It is a weekly appointment for you. And it's not just the deliciousness and the great selection of sandwiches, is it?
What the Beatles were to music, Heather, Jessica, Breanna, and Courtney are to great customer service. I love my time when I go in there just to visit with them. Mike and Jake, you all did a fine job. Loaded myself up with a big, fat, honking Italian sub. And man, is it good.
I am craving a meatball sub. I haven't had one of those in a long time. Get those with the provolone cheese and melt it, and then the Parmesan. Shake that on there as well. That is my go-to Subway sandwich.
I want to try the pizza.
Yeah, you've never had a pizza sub?
Never had a pizza.
Oh, the pizza from Subway.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they can do that. If you've got an event where you need cookies, they have some of the best chocolate chip cookies.
Yes.
Heard it from a friend, of course.
Yes.
Could have been the 24 I've eaten over the past year there. I don't know. But anyway, they have great cookies. They've got little sides you can do. And I think coming up in the next month or so, they're going to start back with soups and chilies.
Hey, awesome. Fantastic. Can't wait to eat and enjoy. Subways of the Parkland, Farmington in the Maple Valley Plaza, Park Hills downtown, and Subway in the Walmart Supercenter in Deloge. Subway, eat fresh. How about some birthdays here on the Parkland Podcast? Let's begin with Monday, September 16th. Who you got, Mark Toti?
Oh, I want to start off by wishing the lovely and talented Tammy Pinkley happy birthday. She's part of my Old Farts Dinner Club that gets together every now and then, once every week or so, and gets together at an area restaurant, and we have dinner together. Happy birthday to you, Miss Tammy. You still look 27, even though that would make it tough to, explain your 30-some-odd-year-old daughters, but that's neither here nor there. Happy birthday to Steve Green. He works for Pettis Automotive. Happy birthday to you. He works in the Park Star Department. Ethan Cox celebrates a birthday today. He is the son of Shannon Cox, the great guitar player for Canyon and other groups. Ethan's a pretty good drummer. Happy birthday to you.
I bet he's pretty talented somewhere.
He's a very talented kid. Haven't seen him in a while. Chris Park, my cousin, happy birthday to you. Hope you're doing great. We hope you have a wonderful birthday. That's from all the family. And our good buddy, Mr. Finance, Mark Cook, celebrates a birthday today. Mark gets involved in about as many good causes as you can find.
Yeah, great guy. Happy birthday, Mark. Steve Weinhold celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday to Steve from Park Hills. And Nathan Shunks, one of the best drummers around, now living down in the Cape area. Happy birthday to him. What about Tuesday, September 17th?
Oh, a guy I hired to work at J98, roughly around the same time that I hired you, Don Luzader.
Yes.
Favorite Don Luzader story, there was a fire off Highway 67. Remember when they had the big tire thing? And
the tire fire.
The tire fire. Oh. Don and I went out there at 2 o'clock in the morning. We used cassette players at the time. Saw the fire chief. I said, Don, here's a good experience for you. Go down there and interview the fire chief. Went down, did a 5-minute interview, came back, and I said, let's listen to it. There was nothing there. He forgot to let go of the pause button.
Oh, no. Yeah, I've been there, done that.
So I thought, good learning tool. Turn around, go back there, and do it again.
Happy birthday, Don.
Happy birthday to you, Don. You're a good guy.
Yeah.
Happy birthday wishes going out to Ricky Eves. Ricky was a great football player at Farmington.
Yes.
Back about 30-some-odd years ago. I think at one point he may have been the fastest kid in school, and he also had the record for most yards rushing in a single season in Farmington High School history at that time. So happy birthday to you, Ricky. Susan Pathetis, happy birthday to you from your kids and all your family. Elena Momot, happy birthday to you, young lady, from all of your family. She is connected to the Berries.
Yes, she is a Barry daughter.
Yes, she is, and a good singer herself.
Great singer, and now she's a real parent because she has 2 kids now.
2 kiddos.
You're not a real parent until you start dealing with 2 kids or more.
Our good buddy Joe Easter, one of 5,000 Easters that come from the Elvins area. Jumpin' Joe. Have him tell you the story about his mohawk sometime. Happy birthday, Joe, from all of your family. Wayne Lindenbringer celebrates a birthday today, local accountant and a member of the Farmington City Council.
I loved it whenever I had some students doing election coverage a couple years ago, and I guess he was running for re-election, and we were talking about pronunciations, and I told the kids, he brings you Lennons, and so they knew how to say his name.
There you go.
It worked out. Also, happy birthday on Tuesday, September 17th to Danielle Burns, fantastic real estate agent from Bonne Terre. What about Wednesday, September 18th?
Wednesday, the gal that cuts what's left of my hair, Sarah Bannister, celebrating a birthday. For the last 25 years, she cuts my hair for $5. She trims my eyebrows, and she trims my mustache, and I'm sure she feels guilty about charging me at all. Quick story about her. She was working at JCPenney at the time, and I called to make an appointment. Some gal answered the phone. I said, it's Mark Toti. I want to make an appointment with Sarah to get my hair cut. I hear her shout out, hey, Sarah, Mark Toti's on the line. He wants an appointment to get his hair cut. And from the other side of the room, I hear Sarah go, tell him he doesn't need an appointment. He doesn't take long. Thank you, Sarah. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Sally Parker Nash, a longtime member of the Mineral Area College Board of Trustees back in the day. Cassie Raridan, daughter of Dan and Betty Combs from Little Caesars. A lean, mean running and swimming machine. Got a cute little daughter. Happy birthday to you, Cassie. Doug McDermott used to be in charge of the Farmington Regional Chamber of Commerce. Now he's with First State Community Bank. Doug, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday. I was so jealous of him during the whole Innovative Force thing when they were on America's Got Talent, and NBC came to Farmington and they filmed the parade, and Doug was the ambassador, and he's on there. He goes, Innovative Force. I'm like, that's Doug. And so I remember Jeremy Coleman and we tried to duplicate that and do the same thing in Deloge with the chamber meeting that year, or the Deloge Chamber Parade that year. So I was so jealous of Doug, and I wanted to be him at that time. Happy birthday, Doug.
Happy birthday, Doug. And a guy you know quite well, Reggie Abishon, with a birthday as well.
Happy birthday, Reggie. Keep up the great work with the tailgates. Those seem to be going really well. And Bryant Restoration. And at one time was the leading passer in North County history. But since offenses have changed over the years, his, I think, numbers have all been broken. And Adam Deckard with a birthday on Wednesday, September 18th. Fine Deloge man. Happy birthday, Adam. I hope you have a great day. What about Thursday, September 19th?
Hey, speaking, this must be Old Folks Day at the radio station. Scott Cheatham. Scott Cheatham and Howe celebrating a birthday. He spent about 10 or 11 years at J98. He was our music director. Happy birthday to you from your wife, Becky, and all of your family. He's now in the Colorado area. He's a preacher.
Well, he's in Illinois now. He moved back from Colorado. And I think he's a teacher, too, at a Christian school in Illinois. And then he's on Show Me Live, doing one of the radio. I think he comes on after, it's like Scott and Scott. He comes on after Kabula.
Scott, Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. Happy birthday to you. My good buddy, Bud Davis, celebrating a birthday Thursday. Bud is a retired military veteran, does a lot of work with the VFW and other military organizations. Bud, happy birthday to you from your wife and your family. Happy birthday going out to Hunter Weekly. Saw Hunter at the Senior Center dinner this past week. That's a birthday wish from your wife, Kim Weekly, and your daughter and your grandbaby and all of your family. Hunter's a good guy. Dennis Ritchie, I see him at the Farmington Civic Center every now and then swimming. Good man. Happy birthday to you. Connie McBride, played trivia with her one night several years ago. Happy birthday to you, Connie, and a gal I've known for a long time celebrating a birthday on Thursday. Carrie Barton, happy birthday wishes to you, young lady.
How about a happy birthday on Thursday to one of the most famous people ever to come out of North County, and that is Mr. Will Compton. He had his number retired on a special ceremony Friday night. He'll be coming up during the sports section of our podcast as Mike Reeves caught up with him on the North County sideline, and he celebrates a birthday on Thursday the 19th. Also, Aaron White, if you ever need like audio done to your car, he is the guy to do it. Happy birthday, Aaron. Hope you have a great day. How about Friday, September 20th?
Three-time Lutheran of the Year, Brian Coker, a proud member of St. Paul Lutheran Church. Happy birthday to you, Brian, from Velma, your daughter, and all of your family. Lee Ragsdale, what an awesome gal she is. She's on the United Way of St. Francis County Board of Directors. That's a fabulous job. A longtime educator and also a great motivational speaker. Happy birthday wishes to you, Lee. Happy birthday wishes to Helen Dickey. You want some good food? Go to the Catfish Kettle.
Oh, man.
Helen runs that place, does a great job. Happy birthday to you. I don't know if I like the fish better or the chicken. Probably the fish.
The fish.
But
chicken's good, though.
But they're both good. And Ian Powers celebrating a birthday. Ian, the son of Corey and Julie Powers. Great tennis player back in the day at Farmington High School, living out in Colorado now. Happy birthday to you, Ian. I still remember the time that Ian and I were working out at the Farmington Civic Center at the same time, and we combined to do 200 push-ups.
How many did you do?
5. That's what I have for
Okay.
Friday. That's all I got there.
That's all I got. That joke was the end. Hey, happy birthday to Frederick Wilson. He's the owner of Outdoor Assets in Ironton, and he has survived thyroid cancer. He had a feeding tube, but now he's healthy. Frederick, a happy birthday to you. That's from your daughter, Josephine Gray. So, Frederick, it sounds like things are going great for you. Happy birthday to you. Amy Chalik, local drummer from the area, finally got in the Baby Boomer show this year. Did great. Happy birthday, Amy. And Kim Gray celebrating a birthday on Friday as well. Happy birthday, Kim. Hope your school year is going great. What about Saturday, September 21st?
Saturday, happy birthday wishes to Sherry Klepsick, one of the 3 lovely Klepsick girls. I think that's why they came up with the term hubba, hubba, hubba. One for each of the Klepsick girls. Sherry, happy birthday to you from your boys, Cullen and Howard Grant. They are good kids, and they get it from their mama, that's for sure. Happy birthday wishes to Mandy Denby. We hope you have a great day. That's from all of your family. John Lefty Key. He has one arm. That's why they call him Lefty.
Oh.
He's a preacher and a great guy. Happy birthday to you,
cool.
John. And a pretty good musician celebrating a birthday today, Chad Walton. He was with Triple X, I believe. And just a good guy. Happy birthday to you. Hope you have a great day.
Happy birthday to Kendra Hewitt on Saturday. Kendra messaged the podcast and said, hey, can you wish me a happy birthday on September 21st? We totally can. Craig Allen, former local coach, IT guy, living the good life in the Washington, Missouri area. Happy birthday to you, buddy. And Angie Wurst, a fantastic stylist in the area, celebrating on a birthday on Saturday. Happy birthday, Angie. What do you got for Sunday, September 22nd?
Sunday, it's not church at St. Paul until Ann Mel says it's church because she's the organist at the church. Happy birthday to you, Ann, from your daughters and your grandbabies. We hope you have a great day. Riley Schrag, a graduate of Farmington High School. I think she's either a sophomore or a junior at Mizzou now. Happy birthday to you, Riley. Interviewed her several times when she was at Farmington as a member of the FFA. Karma Franklin, longtime Farmington, great volleyball
Absolutely,
player.
yeah.
Happy birthday to you. We mentioned the lovely Klepsic girls. Sherry's sister, Andrea, celebrating a birthday on Sunday. Happy birthday to you, Andrea. And happy birthday to my buddy, Dale Jones. Dale and Arlene, I worked with them quite a bit during the St. Francis County Relay for Life years.
Yes, yeah.
They helped put out the luminarias for a bunch of years. Got to know them very well. Their daughter works at the Farmington Civic Center as well, and Dale's just a heck of a good guy.
Absolutely. Lots of good people celebrating birthdays this week. Oh, you got one more?
I left 2 birthdays out
Okay.
for this past Thursday. I want to make sure I get them in.
Okay.
Ed Tucker, happy birthday to you. He's a good man. I hope you have a good day. He once brought me breakfast.
He's a real good
out
man.
to the
then.
radio station,
Yeah,
yes. And I don't know how I could leave Ricky Danley off the birthday list.
Yeah.
His birthday was on Thursday, too, as well. Happy birthday to you, Ricky. I hope you are doing great.
All right. There you have it. Your birthdays and anniversaries here on the Parkland Podcast. Parkland Pharmacy is where we go when we need a prescription or we need medical advice or we need medical equipment or we have questions about insurance. And the 6 locations are fantastic. Deloge, Farmington, Fredericktown, Ironton, Piedmont, and Greenville. I go to the Deloge store all the time. You go to the Farmington store, and we say it, we mean it. Customer service, wonderful there all the time.
We hope to have a couple of the folks from Parkland Pharmacy joining us here in a couple of weeks on the Parkland Podcast. Want to send a shout out to Judy Boring this morning. She does a wonderful job helping folks work through their insurance issues because she's done that with me. If you are hitting retirement age and you have to worry about Medicare and Medicaid and all that kind of good stuff, call Parkland Pharmacy, arrange an appointment with Judy. It's getting to be almost that time of year where you got to renew that every year. Judy can lead you right through it. She is fantastic.
And just a sweet person, too.
Oh, it's nice. As nice as nice can be.
Yeah. And those are the kind of people that work at Parkland Pharmacy. They have local pharmacy at its finest. They're in Deloge, Farmington, Fredericktown, Ironton, Piedmont, and Greenville. Parkland Pharmacy, sponsoring the Parkland Podcast. Let's check the events page now, presented by Discover Farmington. More than you ever imagined. DiscoverFarmingtonMo.com allows you to find out about entertainment, dining, outdoor activities, wineries, and more. And, of course, they're going to present to you Blues, Brews, and Barbecue, and we'll talk about that in just a minute.
Farmington, Missouri, your destination for a perfect weekend getaway. Dine in at one of our quality restaurants or visit one of our surrounding wineries. Farmington offers a variety of parks and other recreational leisure time activities. See some sights, have some fun, and go wherever your heart takes you. Sounds like a lot of fun, so get a room and stay a while. All this and more awaits you just 60 miles south of St. Louis. Discover Farmington today.
But first, Mum's Cafe has the free meal every Wednesday evening, 5:30 at the United Memorial Methodist Church in Farmington.
Blues, Brews, and Barbecue coming up this weekend, Friday and Saturday. There's been a change in the musical lineup. Friday is still the same, Mojo Rising and Blue Moon Blues Band. Saturday, they'll kick off early with the Brad Allen Band, followed by the Soulard Blues Band. They are so good. Casimou, Taylor's Doc Dixon, Marquise Knox, and Mike Zito will be performing now as the headliner on Saturday. Thank you for that update, Kristen White. You are awesome.
There's going to be a trivia night September 27th at West County High School to benefit the choir program.
There's a big fall art show September 28th starting at 9 at Long Hall in Farmington.
Fall family hayrides return Thursday nights in October in Engler Park. You get the s'mores, you get the hayride, and you get all the fun. And you can find out more about that at discoverfarmingtonmo.com.
Don't forget about the Help the Hungry barbecue coming up on October 4th. It's always delicious.
It sure is. The Erica Wade Foundation 5K run happening October 5th in Farmington, with all the proceeds benefiting Shriners Hospital.
Cruising for a Cause Zombie Cruise coming up October 5th, all day in downtown Park Hills.
St. Paul Lutheran School has a trivia night. It's always a good one. It's on October 5th in the elementary gym.
I get to MC that one.
Ooh,
Looking
yeah.
forward to it. And Babbling About Broadway, a musical review, takes place October 11th and 12th at 7 p.m., October 13th at 3 p.m. at Truman Auditorium.
That's going to be a fun show. You'll see my wife in that. DiscoverFarmingtonMo.com allows you to find out more about entertainment, dining, outdoor activities, wineries, and more. You can plan a day trip, even book a wedding there on the site. DiscoverFarmingtonMo.com. Again, proudly presenting Blues, Brews, and Barbecue in downtown Farmington, September 20th and 21st. John Robinson, Pettis Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. He's been slinging automotive pieces for 33 years. That's what the kids say.
Is that how they say it?
Yeah, they've been slinging automotive pieces, and you got to do your hand like this. John probably does it better than I do. But he is so down to earth. He's so easy to work with, and you'll see it when you talk to him.
Yeah, but don't confuse the fact that he's a real laid-back kind of guy with the fact that he doesn't know his business. Because trust me, trust me, he does. He knows where to go to find the best deals. He knows where all the good stuff is at, and he will make sure if you want to buy a vehicle from Pettis, he's going to get you the very best deal possible.
Been doing it for 33 years, and there's a reason why. He's literally sold thousands of vehicles. His phone number is 701-8002. John Robinson, Pettis Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Southeast Missouri Mental Health is looking to hire a diversion recovery coach. The DRC would be part of a forensic mobile team serving the central, east, and southeast regions of Missouri. A degree in social work, psychology, or other closely related field is preferred. Experience in community mental health, forensic mental health, and substance use disorders is required. Individuals with case management and psychiatric rehabilitation experience will receive preferential consideration. Specialized licensure or certification is also preferred. To apply, go to dmh.mo.gov and click on Employment Opportunities, or call 573-218-6800.
Will Compton back in the Parkland, back in North County High School. Let's start there. What does it mean to get a chance to come back, and they treated you so well, and I know you've been so good with the school and the community. What does it mean to be back?
I mean, it's unbelievable, man. They ran this little highlight reel, and just knowing I didn't get to play on the turf, I was on the grass, but knowing that I came from here, from this place, playing Friday Night Light football here, it really is. It's super cool. And for them to put a sign up, the key to the city, it's awesome. It is awesome.
When you look back at the time that you played here, does it feel like forever ago or yesterday?
Man, both. It feels like forever ago because the kids, they're so much younger. I'm so much older. I'm about to be 35 next week. But it feels like I could go back to school tomorrow with my same friend groups, be as rowdy as we were, play high school football. But it is nuts thinking that it has been like almost 2 decades now.
Well, when you think back to high school, is there one or two memories that stand out, game-related, practice-related, whatever it may be? Is there something that just stays in that memory bank from those years ago?
Man, number one, when I was a freshman, I believe we went 13-1 or 12-1, went all the way to St. Clair and got beat. And that playoff run that we had felt really special. The next year when it was Dan Harris, Nick Neely, they were seniors. I remember those guys. I remember kind of the upperclassmen of my group. For myself, junior year, we played Poplar Bluff. And I had a lot of yards in the first half, I think 4 touchdowns. And that's a memory I'll have forever because the next year on their local newspaper, it was like, how do we stop Will Compton and company? But that's like a cool memory that I remember.
Move forward. We'll go past the college days just because of the shortness of the time that we have. But what are the NFL memories, and how different is it playing that sport as a job versus, hey, I'm in high school enjoying this? How big a difference is there, obviously, besides you get paid to do it?
Yeah, the purity of high school football is as close as you get, man, because college was all time. I loved my time there. That felt like a brotherhood. And then in the NFL, you have your moments of building that team in the offseason, but it is such a business to where you don't know if the guy next to you in the locker room is going to be there tomorrow. But as far as like memories and stuff that I had, like getting to be, when I was voted captain, that's probably the favorite accomplishment of mine, is getting to be voted captain in Nebraska and with Washington. And those are things that, I really look fondly back on. Outside of all, the times I got to play, plays I got to make. But it's stuff like that I remember the most.
Wrap it up with this. What are your thoughts on the college and the NIL situation? Considered, that would have made a big difference for guys like you. Is that a good thing for the game, a bad thing? Do you have an opinion one way or another?
I think ultimately it is what it is. It's become a part of the game. It's something that if you want to stay out front, stay on top, be good and compete, you have to embrace it. So whether or not you like it, it doesn't necessarily matter. It's embrace it. How do you get these guys in? How do their motivations change coming out of high school? Because they are a lot different from when I was coming out, where you're picking the school, you're picking the coaching staff, you're picking all these other things. Now it is going to become a little bit more transactional, but at the end of the day, that's where the game's going.
I know you got a lot to do. We'll let you get to it. Thank you so much for your time. Good to see you.
Yes, sir.
They said it couldn't be done. They said the world would never accept a cookie this long, or pretzel, and probably not a churro. They also said, under no circumstances should those really long and delicious treats be wildly affordable. Then we said, but we already made them, and they are. Introducing the incredible new foot-long sidekicks. Get one at Subway today.
Parkland Podcast with you, and Mark and I are going to get a little healthier. At least we're going to try to eat a little healthier, I guess. We have joining us here on the podcast, Breanna Griffin. She's a registered dietitian with the St. Francis County Health Center. Thanks so much for coming on the podcast and speaking with us.
No problem.
Breanna had the pure honor of telling me on the radio that I am morbidly obese.
Oh, no.
In one of our early interviews. She was the impetus for me to lose about 25 pounds.
Really?
Yes,
Wow.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yes. A lot of, I guess, things fall under your area in the St. Francis County Health Center, being a registered dietitian. Kind of give us like a little overview of your job and how you help people in the community.
All right. So primarily, I am a WIC dietitian. So I spend the majority of my time in the WIC office. I help pregnant women just throughout their pregnancy and with what they should be eating and weight gain, and then postpartum women as well. And most importantly, the babies and the children. We see children all the way up until the age of 5. So we get to monitor them from newborn stage all the way until age 5 and watch them grow and see how they're eating and all of that fun stuff.
People hear about WIC all the time, but they may not know exactly what it is and just exactly how many people you'll help throughout the course of a year.
Yes. So women, infants, and children, it is a federal program provided by the USDA. So we provide nutrition services along with breastfeeding education and support. And for folks that do participate, then they in turn receive a monthly stipend for food packages so that they can receive healthy foods throughout the month. On a month-to-month basis, we see about 1,500 to 1,600 people. So it is a lot of people. And so it is a great program just to show you, in numbers.
Now, whenever we had our first child, Jonas, we participated in the WIC program.
Yes.
And back then, when you went to the grocery store, I think there was like a big long handout and like little coupons and things that you had to check.
Yes.
And, sometimes it'd be a little embarrassing.
Yes.
Or we'd have to, slow down things at the checkout lane.
Yes.
That's changed. That's no longer like that, right?
Yes. Back in 2020, there was something good that came out of the COVID days. We got out of the Flintstone era and we are now on an eWIC card. So everything is on like a little debit type card. So the negative stigma of, you're receiving WIC benefits, people just use their WIC card, then they use their regular card and they move on. And the stigma is gone.
And I would think it would be more efficient and probably a little easier to make sure everything's on the up and up with those kind of things too, right?
Yes, absolutely. Because these people, they can have the food package on their phone. They can see everything, as they go shopping. They can have the balance on their phone. It is all very efficient. See what they have left and spend, penny for penny of all of their benefits.
So there's about a month left in the farmers market seasons, and you were one of the people instrumental in starting a new program, a partnership between the United Way and the health department, where you handed out vouchers for good food from the farmers market.
Yes.
How'd it go this year?
Well, it went really good. So, like I said, I've spent the majority of my time in the WIC office, but, I do get to step out now and then for other programs, and the farmers market voucher program being one of them. Yes. So we serviced 125 families this year with $20 worth of vouchers to take to the farmers market, and this year they could go to Farmington or Park Hills, so both places could be utilized, and they could get $20 worth of free fruits and vegetables.
Getting them to eat healthy.
Yes.
Tell us about the chronic disease class you have coming up.
Yeah, no problem. So the chronic disease self-management is coming up. It's going to start on September the 18th. It is a 6-week course. They will meet every Wednesday, I believe, at 9 a.m. on the Wednesdays. It's a 2 to 3 hour class, just depending on how many questions arise and how that goes. But it is it's encompassed for all chronic diseases, whether that be diabetes or high blood pressure, or obesity, that kind of thing. But yes, so it is a 6-week course just to how to cope with your disease, how to correct some things that you're doing nutritionally, and just how to, overall take care of yourself.
How do you get involved in the program?
So we have a health educator now. His name is Clyde. His extension at the health center is 113. And so Clyde can get everyone signed up who is interested. And again, it is free.
Well, it's that time of year, starting to change with the weather, start you thinking about cold and flu season, and health department always leads the way with flu shots.
We do. Right now, we have 4 insured people. We have flu shots and COVID shots. And then October the 1st, we will have flu shots and COVID shots for the uninsured.
Tell us about the produce distribution that's happening monthly.
So this is something else that I get to step outside of my office and do. It's a lot of fun. Once a month, we are partnering with the Jefferson County Community Partnership. His name is Ken, and what he does is he sends produce our way once a month, and we get to distribute it for free to anyone. There are no income requirements, no age requirements. It's just first come, first serve. It's the second Thursday of every month at 3 p.m., and we are loaded with lots of good stuff.
Is that going to be a year-round thing?
It is. We are going to take a break for the month of December because we have other plans at the health center, but then we'll pick that back up in January.
Want to ask about the commodity food program. Tell us about that.
Yes. So this is another health educator program. Clyde is the guy for that. But this does have an age requirement of 60 and up, and there are also income requirements to go over. But it is a monthly food box of shelf-stable items that people can get for free.
Now, we're going to talk about the Walk with Ease program here in just a second, but there's other services, health screenings and things like that folks could probably stop by the health department and get almost any time, right?
Yeah, so we do have nursing services or clinical services of 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, so any and all immunizations. And we do have environmental services. They are there Monday through Friday as well. So that would just be like water samples, sewage questions, any kind of environmental or restaurant, that kind of thing.
People have no idea that you do as much as you do at the health
department. Yes, there's a really big variety of services.
Tell us about Walk with Ease. What's this event about?
Yeah, I should have brought Clyde with me today. I'm promoting all of his services, but that is another health educator service. So he does go out into the community at different places, and it is also a 6-week thing. So they walk 2 days a week. It is a free service. It's just a walking group that will form at different locations within the community, and he'll guide that and just keep people motivated and walking just to better their health.
You've got a trunk and treat coming up?
Yes. So that is pro WIC. Yay. So October the 25th, the WIC department is putting on our annual trunk or treat in our parking lot. It's been really a good success the last few years. So we're going to invite all of our community partners to set up a trunk, and then we will have anyone and everyone come join us for the WIC trunk or treat. I believe it's the 25th at 1 p.m.
You stay busy.
Yeah. Always something. You wear many hats in public health.
Yes, you do. Okay, you've put together a game for us. I'm very
Yes.
excited about this.
Can we show these off yet?
Absolutely.
Okay. So these were made for us. There we go.
So the rules are, I have 10 questions. Whenever I read the question, if you know the answer, you have to raise your head.
Okay. Okay.
Okay?
All right.
And they're just bragging rights because I work for public health, so there are no prizes.
Oh, now wait a minute.
All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, so this is grocery store related, all right?
Okay.
So how many colors of fruits and vegetables should you buy when grocery shopping for the week? Close call. I'm going to go with Jason.
4.
He totally made that up.
Yeah?
8.
3.
3.
3 is the magic answer. 3 or more, but I was just looking for 3.
Okay.
So whenever we are shopping and eating fruits and vegetables, we definitely want to do a variety of colors just so that we can get good vitamins and minerals from any and everything.
Okay.
Good information.
Yeah, number 2. So looking for the lower unit price when brand comparing is key to saving money. True or false? Mark.
It's key to saving money, but it might not be the best thing to do.
So the question is key to saving money. True or false?
True.
Yes.
Yay! Take a seat, Lowry.
Mark 1. Mark 1. All right. It is. You are correct. There is a fine line in there. It is key to saving money, but it may not be the most nutritious option. Yep. Number 3. How many times a week should we eat fish? Jason.
2.
You are correct.
Yes.
Dang it.
1-1. All right. Are you ready? Okay. So number 4 refers to protein. The less legs, the better refers to what? Mark.
Chicken.
I guess I'm
Poultry.
going for the concept. What concept does it cover? The less legs, the better. So when we're thinking about protein, what does that mean?
I know what that means.
Well, put your
Raise your head.
Mark.
The less legs, the better means it'll be healthier for you.
Yes. Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
All right.
Ding,
Yes,
ding,
yes.
ding.
That's
yes.
why we don't eat centipede.
So what would be the best option there? With the less legs.
Fish.
Yes.
Yeah. There it is.
Dang.
Ah, hey.
I'm kicking some podcast butt here.
You are. I think that's like 3-1. Come on, Jason.
I
Wake
know.
up. Wake up.
Sorry.
All right, number 5, we should purchase egg whites instead of the whole egg when shopping for optimal health. Jason.
False.
Correct.
Yes.
Woohoo! So that is a long-term myth that we can bust. We want to eat the whole egg for all of the nutrients.
Well, I was going to eat the whole egg anyway.
That's true.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Number 6, which option is more nutritious? Plain or unflavored, or the flavored version? Mark.
Plain.
Yes. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
Yes, typically when we add flavor, so like a flavored product, they definitely add a lot of unnecessary added sugars, and that can be the devil.
If you're keeping score at home, I'm winning.
I've lost 4-2?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Come on, Jason. All right, number 7, we should do the majority of our shopping from the middle of the store. True or false? Jason.
True.
Balls.
Mark is correct. Mark for the win. Ding, ding, ding. 5-2.
Why should we shop
Yes.
more in the middle?
So we want to perimeter shop first and get
Okay.
the majority of our foods there because that's where the fruits and vegetables are, the meats and the proteins,
Gotcha.
and the dairy products. In the
I could have
middle,
answered that, by golly.
yes, the middle is the more processed packaged foods.
That's where the
Gotcha.
breads are at and the chips.
Right. Okay.
See?
Okay.
He didn't lose 25 pounds for nothing.
That's
right.
right.
Look at him, man.
All right, next up, 5-2, right, Mark? When going down the cereal aisle, where on the shelves would we find the healthiest options? I'm going to give you an option. There are 2 answers. Top, middle, or bottom? Jason.
I'm going to say the healthiest options are on the bottom.
Okay. There's 2 answers.
Oh. The bottom and the middle.
Mark, do you want a chance to steal?
I'll go for the steal for 200, Alex. I'll go the bottom and the top.
Yes.
Because in the middle is where all the sugary stuff probably is.
Ding, ding, ding.
Man.
I tell you what, 8 years of interviews has really paid off.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, it has.
And she thought I was sleeping during the interviews.
You are correct. Yeah, they really product placement right there for the children, right there in the middle.
Right where your eyeballs hit.
Yes,
Gotcha.
so look high and look low. All right, number 9, choose the best option for optimal health, okay? Salami, roast beef, 100% beef bologna, or oven roasted turkey. Ooh, close one. Jason, he's hurting over
Oven
here.
roasted turkey.
Ding, ding, ding.
I knew that one too.
Yes. Now, very close second was roast beef. It is very low in fat. It just, turkey has just a few less calories.
So can I ask you something as a health professional?
Yeah, hit me.
Is it possible to name every ingredient that goes into a hot dog?
Oh,
That's a whole
maybe if
podcast
you're a
in itself.
chemist.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're a chemist. Not for me. All right, ready? I believe we're at...
Oh,
I think we're tied.
Oh, wait, whoa.
How about 5-4?
Okay.
And this one's for the tie.
Oh, all right. Here we
Okay. When purchasing a whole grain food, how many grams of fiber per serving should we aim for? 3, 6, or 9? Okay.
9.
6. Oh,
3.
Yes. 3. Yes. So fiber is our secret weapon.
So why wouldn't more be better?
Well, too much fiber.
Oh, yeah.
Now I understand.
But yes, we do, whenever we're choosing our whole grain options, do want to make sure there's at least 3 grams of fiber in each serving. Yep.
Very good.
Nice job, gentlemen.
Hey, this was a lot of fun. I wish all our guests would do this, man. That was great.
But even more importantly, I won.
Whatever. Breanna, the
Yes.
health department is located basically where highways 8 and Z come together
Yes,
in the
Park
city of
Hills.
Park Hills.
Yep.
How can people get in touch with you? Website, Facebook? You got any of that out
Yes,
there?
we have all of the above. So the health center has a Facebook page, just St. Francis County Health Center. Our WIC page does as well, so St. Francis County Health Center WIC. We have a website, sfchc.org, or you can just Google us. I know that's a lot of letters.
Yeah, that's always easiest.
We also have a phone number. You can reach us Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. That would be 573-431-1947. If you have questions for myself directly, I'm extension 151. And then again, our health educator, Clyde, he's at 113.
I'll tell you what, there's a lot of wonderful people that work at the St. Francis County Health Center. This is one of the best ones right here.
Thank you.
Thanks for the game. This was a lot of fun. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it.
Saturday morning game. What could be better?
Yeah.
What are we going to do next week?
Well, I'm probably going to be camping, so I
Oh.
don't know what you'll be doing.
Getting out the griddle, but preparing very healthy foods.
I'm going to be fishing for the leanest protein.
Yeah.
There you go.
Very, very good. That is Breanna Griffin, registered dietitian with the St. Francis County Health Center, joining us now on the Parkland Podcast. They're the friendly first, their first aid community bank. Remember that song?
Is this part of the commercial?
Yeah, it is.
Oh. First State Community Bank, member FDIC. I don't remember it sung quite like that.
Yeah, oh, okay. First State Community Bank has those 3 Farmington locations. They're in downtown. They're at the intersection of Washington and Karsh. They have the Maple Valley location. They have the Farmington High School location. They are all about the community and all about providing you everything you need to bank.
I was just there this past week, put some money in the bank, and the lady said, you want $80 back, right? And I said, yes, unless, of course, you want to give me more. She was very nice, very friendly, didn't give me any more.
Oh, well, she might have been, hey, it's your money. You take as much as you want.
But no, they are just awesome people to work with at First State Community Bank. I have a lot of people there that aren't just people I see when I go in the bank. I consider them friends.
Yeah.
So Andy and Craig and Dan and Matthew and Tanya, Lisa, all you folks, thank you for doing such a wonderful job and taking care of all my banking needs.
FSCB.com is the website. Member FDIC, First State Community Bank, sponsoring the Parkland podcast. Discover Farmington is more than you ever imagined. DiscoverFarmingtonMo.com is their website. That's where I like to go to find out about entertainment happening around the area. Great pictures, so much information, but of course, Blues, Brews, and Barbecue is front and center.
It's coming up this weekend, Friday night, Mojo Rising. Boy, they get a lot out of a two-man band. They are so good. And Blue Moon Blues Band performing on Friday. Saturday, the Brad Allen Band will take the stage at 11:30. The Soulard Blues Band after that. Kasumu Taylor's Doc Dixon, Marquise Knox, and then Mike Zito will be performing. But it's more than just the music at Blues, Brews, and Barbecue. There are craft beer vendors, there's food trucks, barbecue contests, all kinds of things for the kids to do. There's going to be car shows. This is a great time to be in downtown Farmington. If you went to Farmington for Country Days and like the idea of not just hearing the music, but also just mingling with friends and seeing old friends, Blues, Brews, and Barbecue is a great way to do that.
Find out details about this event and many others in our wonderful region at discoverfarmingtonmo.com.
Hi folks, John Robinson here at Pettis Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Supercenter right here in Farmington. You know, I want to take a minute here to invite everybody out. My role has kind of switched. I decided to take on a new role, 33 years in the car business and management, and I'm kind of stepping back a little bit, but what I'm doing is I'm helping, I want to serve all the people that come in and ask for me. I'll handle the whole process from A to Z right here. So no running back and forth. It's going to be easy. We've got just about anything that anybody is looking for, and if we don't have it in a vehicle, I'll get it. I'll find it. So my cell phone is 573-701-8002. You can call me or text me at any time. I'll promptly respond 7 days a week, 24/7 if I'm awake. So just come on out and see me. I'll be glad to help you. It'd be my privilege to serve you. Put all my years of experience to work for you. So come on out once again. Pettis Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Supercenter, Fairgrounds exit just north of Farmington.
Time for sports on the Parkland podcast. And man, did we have some football for you this week. 2 games beginning on Thursday night. Mark Toti, it was a 2-overtime thriller as Central outlasted Fredericktown. Did you catch any of that?
I did watch a little bit of the game on the Parkland podcast. It was very low scoring when I was watching.
Yeah.
I guess I watched the wrong part of the game.
It got real exciting in the second half, and of course, the 2 overtimes as well. After Central's 42-34 2-overtime victory over the Black Cats, Mike Reeves caught up with Central Rebel head coach Kory Schweiss.
Well, some kind of night of football here in Fredericktown. Central guts it out. I guess that's a way to put it. Get the double overtime win. I'm sure as a coach, you're happy you got the win. You found a way. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot to clean up after this one was over, too. Just your thoughts on it.
Yeah, the first thing I want to do is compliment Coach Williams and Fredericktown's coaching staff and their players. They've done a lot of work in 2 years. They gave us everything they wanted. I actually feel bad for those guys. They had a chance to get this win just as easy as we did tonight. We didn't do the things that it took to we didn't play real well. But at the same time, I'm not going to make excuses. Fredericktown, give credit to them. I told the kids at halftime, this is probably one of the most embarrassing things that happened, not because of what the score was or anything like that, just the amount of people that were just not not making plays, but not knowing what they were supposed to be doing. And that's on me as a coach. I didn't have our guys prepared well enough tonight. But with all that being said, they did fight. Their effort was good especially at the end of the game. Second half and at the end of the game, their effort was good. As coaching staff, we just got to do a better job getting our kids in better positions to make plays that can win games.
Are the issues that occurred for your team tonight that you just mentioned, were on any level they anticipated? Did you see any of it in the week or leading up to it, or was it kind of blindsiding you and go, I do not know what's happening here, but this is not us?
No, it was. We saw it this week, and I don't like to tout my own sons. I'm my own son too much, but Brady was making a lot of the checks in our back end of our secondary, and we just looked lost back there tonight. And we had guys just not doing things, and it wasn't just defensively. That's no excuse because he didn't play offense. Offensively, we had guys dropping balls again tonight, wide open passes. We were missing some blocks. Number 70 for them is a handful. We knew that coming in. No, we had prepped for that. But at the end of the day, our kids did make enough plays to win the game. I don't know how, but they did, and we'll move on.
From a perspective of being down and, the chances you're getting an overtime session, you can lose a football game, I thought your group stayed fairly patient with the process. I never saw panic when I was standing over behind your sideline. I thought everybody stayed with it. I'm sure there were moments where they were like, what in the world's going on here? But is that something that you will take from it? Is that, hey, guys, if we get in this spot again, at least we know that we can fight through it if we have to?
Yeah, 100%. I think Coach Jones and I showed our age tonight. I think we when we were younger coaches, I think we would have both absolutely lost our minds tonight the way things were going. But both he and I honestly stayed pretty composed. We know what we're dealing with, and we have a job to do. And our job this year is not going to be as easy as it has been in the past. And early on we were kind of getting on our guys about different things, and it wasn't working. We just kind of kept it calm. Didn't really get onto them too much at halftime. Got into them a little bit, but really in the second half, honestly. We were just trying to stay as positive with them as we could. We were trying to stay calm. We knew once we could get it to overtime, if we could get it to overtime, which we had a big stop at the end of the regulation, we knew we had a little bit of time to take a shot. But really, once we were playing for overtime, we felt good about having to go 25 yards with Jackson back there. But they were still doing a pretty good job. They were getting in trouble in overtime with the 25-second play clock. That was hurting them a little bit. You could tell they were a little rushed. Our guys were composed a little bit in that situation, but I think a lot of that comes from experience. I know we don't have a ton of experience this year, but at least Jackson at that position is really experienced, and I think that helped.
Two more things. At what juncture in that second half did you decide, you and the coaching staff, listen, if we're blocking it well enough up front, if we just need to go with Jackson takes it and we go with it, up the middle or up to how late in the game did you make that determination that this will work and we can just keep running it over and over?
Well, I knew we could do that, but the problem is I don't want to run Jackson 40 times a game. I mean, we got to have other people step up and make plays. We had opportunities tonight to make a lot of plays. We got the big turnover when it was tied, and I probably could have tried to go down and do a 6-minute drive right there and utilize Jackson most of the time. But at the same time, I knew that we had been setting up the screen and go, and I knew it would be open, and I thought, well, let's just go ahead and score now and then let our defense play, and if we have to get the ball back, maybe we can score again or whatever. But, we got to make the catch. Like, we executed the throw. He's wide open. We just got to make the catch. And those things, happen, all night long. And, that stuff's frustrating, but it's like I told them at halftime, I'm going to have freshmen and sophomores this week at practice getting reps, and they're going to get opportunities to play. And because we've got some young guys that have potential, and they're going to get their shots. There's no doubt about it.
Final thought, you kind of alluded to it. How difficult is it making it that Jackson does pretty much, I won't say have to play defense, but he's an awfully important cog on your defense, and then he's going to have the ball in his hands so much, he's going to take a lot of hits, and we're only in week 3.
Yeah, that's a concern, and that's one of the reasons that I said I didn't want it to be like it was tonight. But then at the end of the day, at the end of the game, when it's this way, I mean, you just almost have to put it in his hands because he's your horse. So obviously that's not going to be the game plan moving forward. Otherwise, he was pretty beat up the last 2 football seasons, and we do this to him tonight. It's just not fair to him. But it did show you what kind of gamer he is. That's for sure. He's a horse, and he just willed his way. And probably both those possessions of overtime.
Look forward to seeing you again soon. Congrats on a tough one tonight.
All right, thanks. I appreciate it.
We move on to Friday night's action, and the North County Raiders got back in the win column, improving to 2-1 on the year with a 42-14 victory over the Desoto Dragons. Brian Jones, head coach of the North County Raiders, shows us his best side after the game.
North County's Raiders get a win tonight. Final score is 42-14. Coach, it felt like a ball game, honestly. A little closer than the final score says it was, but you got the job done, especially in the second half. Thought you locked things up a little bit.
Yeah. I always come out of the locker room at halftime and I give them a Bonnie Bradley quote. And Coach Bradley, she used to say, come out of the locker room, start second half, third quarters, win ball games. We challenged the defense to come up and produce a good stop third quarter, right off the bat, and they did that, and we were able to get the offense on the field and make a nice drive down the field, kind of controlling the clock and having a good possession, and ended up with the score. And then we came back and played pretty good defense, snuck one past us that we really hadn't seen, didn't have the kids prepped for. And Brenton is a guy that you have to contend with, and if he gets behind you, there's not too many guys in our conference that's going to catch him, especially when he's got a head start. He's a really good player. He's tough, and he's fast, and he's physical, and he's about 140 pounds. And I told these guys all week, and I told people in interviews and in the community that one thing DeSoto do this year is compete, and they did all the way up to the end. And talking to our kids after in the post-game huddle, they felt like this was the most physical team we've seen so far this year.
I know it's an unfair question, but 3 weeks in, are you happy with where your team is at this point with still a lot to go? Do you like where you are after 3 weeks?
Sure, I like where we're at. We've competed, and that was our big deal, and that we wanted to do this year, compared to last year. And these guys aren't complacent. I think we did come out a little bit flat tonight, especially defensively, and maybe didn't have our focus quite right. The first couple of drives, but when they settled down and had seen everything from their offense, they made some adjustments. Our kids made some adjustments, and we were able to start playing well. There's always things to improve on, no doubt. But we thought we could be, we thought we could run the ball. We thought we could be pretty physical at the line of scrimmage. We thought we had some playmakers on our offense, and that's kind of where we're at right now.
I know you guys as coaches, you are day to day and you are game to game, but I'm going to go ahead because I looked at the schedule and I thought the Raiders are going to find out a lot about who they are over the course of the next 3 weeks or so. You get on the road and the opponents should be really good. Do you allow yourself to at least take a peek ahead and say, you know what, 3 more weeks from now, we better be good, because if not, we could get in some trouble with these opponents?
Well, sure. That's why I spent a Friday morning at a contact camp watching Rolla and Hillsboro, and that's why I drove to Rolla the Jamboree night and filmed them. And, we look ahead because it would be unfair to our kids if we didn't. There's an old adage that, when you look past that team and they got you, well, maybe there's some truth to that, but as coaches, you got to be looking ahead, and with offense, the offenses and defenses that are, making their way down from the collegiate level down to the high school level. It's not 6'2" stack monster and power I anymore. Things have evolved, and the game's played, across the field as far and vertical as well, and you have to be able to defend that defensively, and you have to be able to execute that offensively. So yeah, we look ahead, but no, do we look past? No, that's a little different. Looking past and looking ahead is definitely different. And you're right. These next 3 weeks are a meat grinder of our schedule, and they're all on the road. 2 of them is not a big deal. A half-hour commute north on 2 of the games, but the Week 5 game out at Raleigh, it's going to be a little bit of a road trip for us, and it's not something that we're completely new to, but it's something that we definitely have to prepare for.
Wrap it up with this one. What did it mean for the community, for the football program, even for yourself personally, to have Will Compton back and to be able to recognize him? And I noticed there was a crowd following him everywhere he went tonight. We had a chance to talk to him as well. What did it mean to have him back at North County and part of the festivities?
Oh, I always love having William Earl III back. It's always a good time. I enjoy catching up with him. He's busy. When you have the platform and that he has and have had the success he has, you get tugged on from all different directions. So the fact that he still has hometown roots and makes time to come home and spends a lot of time in our area, even though people don't realize it all the time, that's huge. And the Duke of Bonterra, his dad, he still lives in town, and he keeps in contact with him. So he's Will's never forgotten where he came from. That's for sure. And that's what makes him so awesome.
Good luck moving forward. Always a pleasure.
Thanks, Mike. We appreciate the coverage.
We also caught up with Russ Schmidt, head coach of the Desoto Dragons.
Coach, we talked about half. The score looked maybe a little worse than the game. What do you think in the second half? The compete level was certainly there. I see that from field level. Scoreboard got a bit out of hand. What'd you see?
I thought that our kids gave effort, but North County's kids had just a little bit more effort in the tank. And we didn't make plays when we had to, and down and distance situations we didn't make tackles, and they're running the football with a lot of efficiency this year, and they demonstrated that tonight.
When you look at what your kids are doing and where you are 3 weeks into this, is everything progressing, not scoreboard related every night, but just with the program itself? Are you going in the direction you want to see this thing go?
Well, we are, and I know it sounds silly when you look at the scoreboard for a coach to sit here and say that, but it's exactly what I told our kids. We're a better version of ourselves than we were this time last year against North County. And I think for a quarter we had their captive attention, being a close football game, and they had the depth that we don't have, and we were using some timeouts here in the second half just to get our kids to catch their breath a little bit. So we're a work in progress, and the kids know that, and their heads are up and their shoulders are back, and that's all we can ask for.
Do you guys talk long-range goals right now, or is it so much next practice, here's what we got to do, here's the next game, what we have to do?
Next day.
It
really is, because you have to teach them how we're going to do things in practice. You have to teach them how to study film. You have to teach them how to become students. You had to teach them, just all these little things that are important they don't realize. Get to school on time. Just accountability components that in a football game it all adds up. And they're starting to see that now and understand. We had some kids out sick this week, which is no excuse, but when you look like the Keystone Cops out there with substitutions, it certainly doesn't help that. So, we touched upon those things, the importance of having people at practice every day, and what this looks like moving forward.
You've been at a lot of programs that have had various levels of success in your career. Is that what you talked about with, hey, we got to teach them some of the smaller things that lead up? Is that unique to trying to build a program back up, or is that a high school thing across the board?
Well, I just think it's a detail component. I mean, it's important that, every little thing you do as hard, as best as you can. And that starts when you get up in the morning, talking about making your bed when you get up and being a good son to your mom and dad, and you get to school and be a good student to the teachers, and represent your school district at a high level and make good decisions when no one's looking. And if we're doing those things just in life, we get to football practice, things should become a lot easier.
Always a pleasure to visit with you, and I appreciate you taking the time with us tonight.
Thank you for your coverage.
Take care.
Here's the rest of the Week 3 football scores. The Farmington Knights get a victory, tough one on the road, outlasting the Poplar Bluff Mules 36-33.
St. Vincent looks for real. They scored yet another win, 29-25 over crosstown rival Perryville.
Valley Catholic is back, and wow, what a win over the Potosi Trojans, 61-7. Here come the Warriors.
St. Genevieve also a winner on Friday, beating Kennett 26-6.
Festus Tigers defeat the Windsor Owls 49-14, the final score there.
And the Hillsboro Hawks scored a 37-7 win over Washington.
Turning now to Mineral Area College sports, the men's soccer team has improved their record now to 6-3.
The women's soccer team 5-4 on the season.
And the volleyball team off to a 7-3 start for the Lady Cards.
We are going to have Jim Gerwitz, the athletic director at the college, on a future edition of the Parkland podcast. And I'm sure he's going to recap fall sports and take a look ahead to the winter sports, the basketball programs.
Always a busy guy and always a good interview. Coach Gerwitz joining us on the Parkland podcast coming up soon. Coming up on Friday night, we are on the road. We're on the roof at Jackson High School as the high-powered Indians welcome in the Farmington Knights for another long road trip. You'll be able to catch that broadcast starting at 6:20 on Friday night on the Parkland Podcast Facebook page, as well as the Barnes YouTube channel, as we bring you week number 4 of the high school football season coming up on Friday night. Heimberger Construction, HeimbergerConstruction.com. Since 1978, they've been putting together fantastic buildings around the Parkland. You can see them, and they have a secret weapon when it comes to their buildings, and a fine organization that helps there.
Well, one of their secret weapons is Jennifer herself.
Right, yes.
She is awesome and amazing, but they also specialize in Butler buildings. They are the best metal building systems on the market, the only buildings that have a pre-punched roof system and standard 360-degree roof seam for their standing seam roof. And I am sure if you travel around the area, you're going to see a Heimberger-built building.
Mocap in Park Hills and Farmington, Griffin Automotive in Bonne Terre, Legacy Products in Bonne Terre, Paramount Glass, the expansion in Park Hills, Crown Valley Winery, just to name a few. Their website's beautiful, HeimbergerConstruction.com. Give Jenny a call today, 431-4387.
Good people to work with.
Let's talk about Save-A-Lots of the Parkland there in Bonne Terre, Desoto, Potosi, Park Hills, and Farmington. And they have an excellent selection of items. And I love how they're getting more local items in. And one of the best things around locally is this from Bailey Joe's. So yummy.
Yes, Bailey Joe's saw Jeremy, and he gave us a couple of these to brag about. These are available in Save-A-Lot stores. This is their dressing, their Italian dressing. We also have some barbecue sauce. I believe there's a barbecue and a cherry glaze there as well. And they started phenomenal and worked their way up. But that's just an example of the great quality products you will find at Save-A-Lot. And I got to tell you, at our men's club barbecue, we had a few leftover chickens from the John Thomas Scholarship Fundraiser, and we broke them out. All that chicken came from Save-A-Lot, and I got to tell you, it's fabulous.
Yeah, they do such a great job. They have butchers in every store. They're always looking at ways to bring new and exciting items to the store, so things are changing. It's not the same every time, which is real exciting. They do a great job. Check them out today. They're Save-A-Lots at the Parkland, Bonne Terre, Desoto, Park Hills, Potosi, and Farmington. Time to talk some music now on the Parkland podcast. This is your brother's favorite segment, my father-in-law's favorite segment, and we enjoy it too.
Yeah, we've got some good music to talk about today. And in honor of blues, brews, and barbecue, I picked the song called Pickin' the Blues. It's a song by a group called Grinder Switch. And if you love good blues music, there are some great guitar licks on this song. You'll have a hard time finding it in the store. You'll have to go to YouTube and find a link and open it up, but it's definitely worth a listen. It's called Pickin' the Blues. It's about 5 minutes long. And, it's 5 minutes of great blues music. That's my song, my album. I had 3 good choices.
Yeah, you did.
But we're going to go with the Beatles and the Revolver album. Listen to the songs, just a few of the songs on this album. Taxman, Eleanor Rigby, Here, There, and Everywhere, Yellow Submarine, Good Day, Sunshine, Got to Get You Into My Life, and For No One, all on this album. This would have been a greatest hits album for most groups. For the Beatles, It's just another one of their fantastic albums, the Revolver album. It is fantastic.
I'm going to double up on the Moody Blues. This is not a Jim Whaley pick, but Jim Whaley would be very proud of his daughter who picked this song for me. Isn't Life Strange?
Strange.
From 1972, and from the album This Is the Moody Blues. What a great tune. I love how it builds and then drops off again. And boy, the Moody Blues have so many great songs and albums that we could make like a whole segment about them.
I've seen them in concert.
Oh,
they
really?
put on a great show. It's the only time in my life I've been to a concert where at the end they go, everyone go out, have a tremendous night, have a tremendous life. It's like, usually there's a few cuss words in there, some alcohol references, and they're telling everybody to have just a wonderful, amazing life. Great group.
All right, so let's bring out the album for the Moody Blues. This is the Moody Blues, and I mean, this has got so many great tunes on it. I'm just a singer in a rock and roll band. The Story in Your Eyes. Oh, that's a great one as well. And, of course, Nights in White Satin, always a big favorite. And, man, just some great tunes from the Moody Blues. And Isn't Life Strange on here as well.
I think Tuesday Afternoon's on there if you didn't
Tuesday
mention
Afternoon, yes, that's also in there. The Question, The Word, which is also a great tune from them. Ride My Seesaw. Can't believe I left that out, too. And Watching and Waiting, and the Late Lament. Oh my gosh, so many great tunes from the Moody Blues. What an underrated band, part of that British sound of the 70s.
Yeah, love the Moody Blues.
Very cool. All right, well, I guess that about does it for this edition of the Parkland Podcast. Big thank you to all of our guests. Who do we have coming up next week on the show? I should have gave you a warning so you had all that information available in your white book. But hey, as a radio guy, I was able to fill until you found it and flip to the correct page, which is located right where you're looking right now.
We are going to three-peat on next week's edition of the Parkland Podcast. We'll have Chris Landrum in. She'll be talking about the Help the Hungry barbecue.
Yeah.
Stephanie Bennett will give us the latest on the SEMO Family Violence Council, and Brian Bates will be in to tell us about a very special run coming up in the area.
All right, so folks, enjoy your week, and thanks again for liking, subscribing, downloading the Parkland Podcast, episode 15.
And thanks to Morgan.
Morgan Short, she gets applause at the end of the show.